The Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities, JCPD, has responded to claims made by the Cornwall Disabilities Association. The regional disability group accused the JCPD of not assisting its community throughout the pandemic. Sandra Williams reports.
In a news item aired on Friday, October 8, President of the Cornwall Disabilities Association, Andrew East, said since the COVID-19 pandemic started, the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities, JCPD, has only provided assistance to the association once.
From COVID till now, we have gotten one assist once in the early stages, and they just came out and they deal with a few of us. And from that, we haven't heard from them.
Dr. Christine Hendricks is the executive director at the JCPD.
The Cornwall Disabilities Association is a non-government organization and have been a partner with the JCPD over the years. And they would be aware that there are opportunities for grants that persons can apply for. And there's a social worker in St. James that serves the western end of the island. Going into the social worker is always what needs to be done, or having a call to the social worker because they have had that relationship.
Dr. Hendricks adds that she has not received any contact from the association requesting assistance.
And as an organization, distribution can be done from their side. We have also grants that they could apply for to do a business as an entity together, whether they want to partner with persons without disabilities, or as persons with disabilities they want to come together and do a project. There is $400,000 available through our economic empowerment grant for them to access.
She says the association could also make requests for small rehabilitation grants for individuals up to a maximum of $30,000.
Or they can apply for individual grants for a little bit bigger than the $30,000 for up to a maximum of $150,000 grant to carry out a business to enable their own independence. And so if it is that they had forgotten, I think I need to reach out to them.
Sandy Williams, TVJ News.
A plastic bottle problem in Falmouth, Trelawney has got municipal police on watch for persons from other areas who are said to be illegally dumping garbage in the tourist town. But as Krista Campbell reports, a recycling company from Kingston is also helping to address the problem.
I see them on the road and in the garbage and all about. They are piling up. They are making a hazard.
And so Falmouth resident David Bailey says he's trying to help by picking up the bottles he finds in the town and taking them to a drop-off point set up by Kingston-based Recycling Partners of Jamaica. The unemployed man says there's also a little benefit in it for him.
They are giving me breakfast, lunch, and sometimes I get dinner. So I give thanks for that, and I do it willingly and lovingly.
We have designed the area to contain the bottles, and they are placed in there, and the folks, they come down from Kingston and they collect at least twice per week.
Falmouth Mayor Colin Gager is concerned about the dangers of dumping plastic bottles and other garbage in the drains in a town that's already prone to flooding because it's so flat. He says the dragline which runs through the town was recently cleaned.
There was one shop there that we, after removing it, we didn't give permission for it to be constructed again, because what it does is that you build on the bank of the dragline. You discard of all your waste within that vicinity. Breeze come and it blows, and therefore you have the whole thing being messed up.
He's asked residents to pull back their fences to ensure the dragline flows freely.
All of these garbage and so on that is thrown in, contribute to the smell that comes from drains like the dragline.
Additionally, he says efforts are being made to ensure that garbage from the food market is properly containerized. And as for the illegal dumping of solid waste from outsiders,
land belonging to the port where illegal people came in and dumped. We are now monitoring that. Our municipal police is making sure they are out there and they are looking for. And anyone that is caught must be able to face what is there, because you just can't litter the place like that.
Krista Campbell, TVJ
And it's time for a break here on the Midday News. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. The COVID-19 positivity rate has dropped by 8.6% in the last 24 hours. This as Jamaica recorded an 11.7% positivity rate on Tuesday. 56 new cases of coronavirus have been reported from 701 test samples. The overall case count is 87,723. Meanwhile, 356 people are hospitalized with the respiratory illness. 24 patients are in critical condition, while 51 are severely ill. In the last 24 hours, 119 people have recovered from the virus. This has pushed the overall recovery count to 55,946. There are now 29,050 active cases on the island. COVID-19 has claimed 6 more lives between September 30 and October 18. The death toll now stands at 2,129. One death is being investigated. The One Don gang trial has been postponed until October 25. The trial was scheduled to continue today via video link with one of the 33 defendants who contracted COVID-19. However, when the matter was called up in the Home Circuit Court this morning, Chief Justice Brian Sykes disclosed that Ministry of Health protocols would not allow for the defendant, Jermaine Robinson, to participate in the hearing. 2 Haitians suspected to have entered the island illegally were picked up by the police this morning at a house in Newton, St. Elizabeth. Their identities are being withheld pending further investigation. Head of operations for the St. Elizabeth Police, DSP Ron Elliott, says the Haitians were picked up during a strategic operation. The cops say they were searching for drugs, guns, and wanted individuals. A house was searched and the 2 were found sleeping and were later taken into custody. And it's now time for the Business Minute. Jamaica's tourism industry copped multiple titles at the recent World Travel Awards. Jamaica was named the Caribbean's leading destination, Caribbean's leading cruise destination, and Caribbean's leading tourist board. The hotel and attractions subsectors in Jamaica also received awards, with Dunn's River Falls winning the Caribbean's leading adventure tourist attraction, and Eclipse at Half Moon chosen as the Caribbean's leading new hotel. Sagsa International Airport in Montego Bay has also been dubbed as the Caribbean's leading airport. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says these accolades reflect the confidence the global travel industry has in Jamaica. World Travel Awards is regarded as the leading authority that recognizes and rewards excellence in travel and tourism. The head of the World Trade Organization, WTO, has said global supply chain problems could drag on for several months as shipping companies struggle to bridge a supply-demand mismatch and counter a persistent shortage of containers. The WTO head says trillions of dollars of pandemic-related stimulus were feeding into a surge in consumer demand, prompting businesses to hoard hard-to-come-by inventory. The WTO added that shipping companies had not anticipated the strength of the global economic recovery and had cut down on the availability of containers, which were left in the wrong places, so now there's a container shortage. And that's it for the Business Minute. And here's a preview of what's coming up in this evening's Health Report.
In this evening's Health Report, we look at pregnancy and COVID-19 vaccines.
Having the vaccine, preventing severe disease, would limit a pregnant woman's risk of having to be ventilated. And many times what we have to do is to also deliver the infant. So the infant is at risk of premature delivery to ensure that we give the lung greater room to expand and take in oxygen.
That's the Health Report in Primetime News at 7. And now for today's Healthy Living tip. Try to eat something before and after vaccination. Wear short-sleeved clothing or something easy to pull up so that the upper arm can be reached easily. Bring any supplies you need, such as something to distract you. Be calm and positive. And you will also be asked to continue to follow safety measures after the procedure and to follow the general advice of public health officials for when you're at home or out and about.
And it's now time for the top regional and international stories with Sandy Williams.
In the region, a leading United States legislator has strongly urged the Joe Biden administration to appoint veteran Jamaican-born legislator Nick Perry as the country's next ambassador to Jamaica. U.S. Democratic Senate Majority Leader Charles Chuck Schumer of New York announced his support for New York Assembly member Perry to be the next U.S. envoy to his native Jamaica. If Perry is appointed, he would be the first Jamaican to hold that post and would replace Ambassador Donald Tapia, who demitted office as President Biden stepped into the U.S. presidency in January. On the international scene, Queen Elizabeth II has cancelled a trip to Northern Ireland based on medical advice. A Buckingham Palace spokesman said the Queen has reluctantly accepted medical advice to rest for the next few days. The Queen's decision is understood to be unrelated to coronavirus. A statement from Buckingham Palace notes that the doctor's advice is for her own comfort. The 95-year-old was due to begin a 2-day trip on Wednesday. The Queen, along with British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, had been due to attend a church service in the city of Armagh on Thursday, marking the centenary of partition and Northern Ireland's foundation. And that's the top regional and international stories. I'm Sandy Williams.
We head to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports report. Renata Brown is here.
Welcome back. It's now time for your midday sports. At sports time, needing 190 runs to win, the West Indies were 99 for 4 in their final World T20 Championship warm-up game against Afghanistan in Dubai. Batting first, Afghanistan piled up 189 for 5, with Hazratullah Zazal 56 and Mohammad Shahzad 54 the top scorers. Ramanullah Gurbaz 33 and Najibullah Zadran 23 also got among the runs. Obed McCoy ended with 2 for 43, while Jamaican Andre Russell, in his first game in almost a month, took 1 for 13 from 2 overs. This is the final game for the Windies before they open their World Cup campaign against England on Saturday. There's an injury blow for the West Indies ahead of the start of the World 2020 Championships, as Jamaican Fabian Allen will miss the tournament. Left-arm spinner Keel Hussain has been named as Allen's replacement. Allen was ruled out of the ICC tournament due to an unhealed right ankle injury, which he sustained during the recently concluded Indian Premier League. The change to the Windies squad has been approved by the ICC tournament's technical committee. CWI selectors have also requested that Dominic Drakes and Jamaican Odin Smith stay back in the UAE following their recent IPL engagements. The two young fast bowlers will train with the West Indies squad as net bowlers during the squad's preparations this week. Jamaica's Sunshine Girls have taken an unbeatable 2-0 lead over Trinidad and Tobago's Calypso Girls in their 3-match Sunshine Netball Series following their comfortable 64-32 victory in the latest game at the National Indoor Sports Centre on Tuesday. The Sunshine Girls held quarterly leads of 12-8, 24-14 and 44-22. World-rated goal shooter Janelle Fowler led the Jamaican scoring with 36 goals from 38 attempts, while fellow goal shooter Giselle Allison had 13 from 20 and goal attack Shanice Beckford 12 from 14. Centre Nicola Dixon Rochester was named player of the match for Jamaica. Goal shooter Afisha Noel was Trinidad and Tobago's top scorer with 17 goals from 20 attempts. She was supported by captain and goal attack Khalifa McCollin, who converted 15 from 16. The Jamaicans recorded a one-sided 71-22 victory in Saturday's opening encounter. The third and final game of the series will also be played at the National Indoor Sports Centre on Thursday, starting at 6 p.m. And reigning NBA champions, the Milwaukee Bucks crushed the Brooklyn Nets 127-104 in the opening night of the league's 75th anniversary season. Giannis Antetokounmpo, who was the most valuable player in the last season's finals, contributed 32 points and 14 rebounds for the Bucks against one of the preseason favorites. Kevin Durant was Brooklyn's top scorer with 32 points. On the West Coast, the Golden State Warriors, led by a 21-point, 10-assist, and 10-rebound triple-double from Steph Curry, came from behind to beat the 2020 champions, Los Angeles Lakers, 121-114. LeBron James scored 34 points, and Anthony Davis added 33 in the defeat. And that's it for your Midday Sports Report. Shane, it's back to you.
Thanks, Leonardo. And that's it indeed for the Midday News. I'm Shane Masters. Join us at 7 for Primetime News. On behalf of the news, sports and production teams, good afternoon.